So this is some footage of the new Alpex LRF 4K by HikMicro. So this product is brand new on the market. It's going to be released in January 2024, possibly the start of February 2024. That's the ETA time on the release of this unit. It's got a heap of different enhancements over the previous Alpex. Aesthetically, some changes, design changes that we're going to go over now. So, as with the previous Alpex, you get your box with all your graphics, design, logo on. Within that, you get your padded, blown, moulded case. You get a dual charger dock, a single 18650, a strap for your case, and a USB-C connector. In a blown mould design to keep hold of the scope, you've got the scope itself and you've got a recoil cup that screws on if you need it. I don't most of the time because I'm using an air gun or a rimfire. So we'll close this and get down to the nitty gritty. So this is the successor to the popular Alpex A50T model. This now is termed the Alpex A50 EL model. So that means, in essence, it's a 4K. It's the new 4K variant of the Alpex. So if we compare both models here, a rough look, similar size, design length, format, some slight changes with the LRF and the focus ring, lens cap, the turret positions all change, but we'll all go over this. Button layouts change as well, and there is some internal changes. This model is the previous Alpex model, the A50T. It's still running, it's still a current model. It's priced at $5499 in the UK. The new model, the Alpex EL 4K LRF, is going to be priced at $84999. So both, obviously this one's available with an IR kit for slightly more, but both of these will be sort of like bare bones models. This one, apart from the Alpex, does come with a dual charger dock and the charger cell, whereas the bare bones basic Alpex does not. We'll move this to the side a minute and we'll go over what we're wanting to look at, which is the Alpex 4K. So, design changes from the previous model. You now have a circular OLED eye display. It is crisper, the icons, etc. It's a new style format. It is nicer. You now have an angle and an incline indicator. So basically that gives you your allowance for cant on the rifle or incline. Ideal for myself, I use an external indicator, which means I don't now have to take my eye off the actual display. It's all within the display. A few people have said they don't like this on the video footage online because it clutters the screen up. I agree, sometimes it's not required. If you go in the menu settings, you can disable that. So the option's there for any user if you need it. At the side, you now have a USB-C connector. Now for me, I prefer this because previously, on the old model, you used to have to unscrew this cap all the time to charge it and then plug it in there with a charge indicator on the side. Now if I'm just coming in from shooting, I just basically just flip that and just plug it in. It's nothing quick, but it's quicker than it was. You know, it's not a big deal, but it just makes life easier. Going along, you've now got different buttons here. So this button format's much easier. So it's more prominent. You can feel it. Power on. Single press will put it in standby. This is your the left side is your image capture, or long press will video record. Your right side is your single press rangefinder. Once you've got your ballistic set up, another press will show you the aim point, and then you can just take your shot and then repeat as and when you need for different distances. If you long press that in, it will activate the picture-in-picture straight away and jump to it. If you long press it in again, it will deactivate the picture-in-picture. Moving forward, here I've fitted my own Weaver accessory rail. You do not get that supplied. You do not get the mounts. These are all extras I've fitted. It is the traditional tube style body. Now some people have said they complained about the weight, but this is how I see it. It is the same weight roughly as the standard Alpex, as the C50, as a Thermion thermal scope, as a Stella, as a half decent tactical optical scope, they're all roughly give us similar weights. So we've used these for years, different weights of different scopes. It's not an issue. The rifle's a lot heavier, you know. This is the last of me worries weight-wise. A benefit of having this tube design is you have got a multitude of different mounting options. So you can use low, medium, high mounts. You can use dovetail, you can use weaver, you can use offset, you can use windage, you can use single piece, you can use one piece. You can do whatever you want with it, you know. The weight's mounted like this with the 2 single points. You can straddle a magazine for an air gun. You can clear an ejection port. You can do whatever you need with it. Move it further back. So it's so versatile, the traditional tube style design with the 30mm rings. Other features that have been changed are it now has a central encoder wheel on the top. So that is better in that position. It's got a lot less likelihood to get knocked when it's on your back. If you're carrying it on a sling, it's so much easier being in that position. The previous one had one on the side here, so a slightest knock would have knocked it, and you could activate the settings and scroll through and accidentally, you know, change settings by accident. The way around that with the older model was to, if you see, was to press the power button once and that would put it in standby. Then you could no longer activate any functions. But the new model, like I say, is now slightly recessed and it's on the top, so it's better for a left or right-handed, so it's ambidextrous design. You do have 2 dual batteries within here, and you also now have the option for a 18650. It's got a really long runtime. 18650 can just get popped in there and it gives you extended runtime. If you do forget to charge a unit, you've then got the option to just pop a 18650 in, and it's not going to kill your night if you haven't previously charged it. Like I say, you can charge that from the USB-C there, or you can download data. If you're charging, there is a power indicator there to show you it's charging, like a green or red LED. Further forward, LRF system. So you've got your 1000 meter LRF. This all ties into the ballistic system. You've got your focus ring here, allows you to focus the device. I've fitted a throw lever purely because if you look at the old model, there's a long length, it's easy to grip. Because this is quite far forward, the throw lever just helps you to just easily adjust that small amount for getting things in pin focus. It is much smoother than the previous model. It's really smooth. The older model is quite stiff. That's why I've got a throw lever on there for both reasons, small adjustments and to make it easier. But like I say, the new model is a lot more smoother running. Lens cap, spring loaded, locks back in place. You can rotate it wherever you want. If you do rotate it to the bottom, it doubles up the fact it's going to prevent any bounce back from IR off your barrel entering the bottom of the scope. So if you just leave it that way, it will prevent that. I normally put it the opposite side of where I'm focused, clip it in, and then it's out the way. It does have a very large f aperture, so f-stop. It's really good for letting a lot of light into the sensor. This is adjustable as well, so if you go using this, you can slide that right back to a narrow aperture, and basically what that means is you getting a better depth of field, so you don't have to focus as much at a distance during daytime. Daytime, you don't need a big aperture, there's plenty of ambient light, so it's not going to be an issue. Nighttime, move it down, opens the aperture fully up, lets all the ambient light in there, lets right back to the sensor. It is a 4K sensor. You want as much light as you can in there. This gives you the best of both worlds, a physical aperture. So, we'll go back to what's internally in it and the software. So you now, like I said, have a new circular OLED eye display, much crisper, nicer design, semi-circle sort of style. Menu functionality that's changed, you now have picture-in-picture that's scaled with the reticles. I much prefer that. You've got a massive wide field of view. You can take accurate shots with holdover using the picture-in-picture. But that's not needed no more because you do have the ballistic function. The ballistic function is all controlled within the software of the scope. You don't need a separate app for this. When you input all your data, the main points, obviously your temperature, altitude, the two main controlling points, should I say, are speed and your BC. This ballistic calculator does not need a projectile weight. There is multiple ballistic profiles. You can set it up for different projectiles, multiple profiles for zeroing. So that's an improvement in itself. You've got the ballistic function. You have the new picture-in-picture style. It's got audio recording, as did the previous model. You've also got the ability to play back all your recorded footage directly through the scope. So if you do take a shot, you miss it, you're with someone, you say, did I clip it? Did it run on? Where did it go? Can't really remember in the heat of the moment. You can quickly play it back through the scope, see where it went, see if it went to hedge, etc. Track it. Or that's just a typical scenario of looking back. Or you might want to just view your shots from the night through the device, not connect to a phone. You've got that ability. Sensor-wise, it's a 4K resolution sensor, ultra high definition, twice as the resolution of the previous model. Really good for up-close footage, is immense. Long-range footage, it goes right from 3.5 magnification to 28 times magnification. Huge different range. So some points I will pick up on is the fact that some people have, look, there's a lot of different things on the market at the minute. There's a lot of competition. Everything's got its strong points. The good thing about the Alpex, what I like, is you've got a 3.5 times base magnification. It will cover for the likes, obviously this is rated to centre fire, high caliber, rifles, air guns, rimfires, but it will cover every base. You can use it if you're shooting wild boar, close range. You can shoot it rats with an air gun, close range. It gives you that ability. The other thing is you can mag right up and shoot a fox at 300, 400 yards with it. It does everything. What I will say is it's a 4K, but it is the most sensitive 4K I've used to date, because if you look at the likes of the Sightmark Wraith 4K, etc., they were great daytime, really great long range, but the actual sensitivity at night was not in the same league as this. So a combination of a nice fast lens and HikMicro's own software system within this gives you great sensitivity. One little thing, I did compare it to the old Alpex at low light and in night vision mode. Without any IR, I was expecting the 1080p original model to perform better than the ultra high definition 4K model, basically because the pixel size is much larger in a 1080p than the higher resolution, smaller pixel size of the 4K. I was wrong. The Alpex 4K with zero IR performs better than the 1080p. Don't ask me how, it does. I was quite amazed, to be honest. It threw a little bit of a curveball in for me for what I was expecting to see, but it performed better. The Alpex A50T performs great with LED IR at night and with VCSEL IR. The Alpex 4K performs great with LED and with VCSEL IR. I think if you want the ultimate performance out of this sort of setup, I would look at a VCSEL IR. Not required, but it will give you longer range than the LED and a little bit more crispness if you get the right one. So that is just a quick overview. I didn't want to go on like a lot of these videos, they'll just start waffling on and things about different things and punting stuff. I want to give you my feedback from using this thing in the field. I'm quite happy with these sort of setups. Like I say, the weight doesn't affect me. I like the style, I can mount it how I want. I like the field of view. I like the long range ability. I like the low light ability, the ballistic function, the LRF. It does everything. It will do everything. And the price point of that now within the UK is £849, which is an absolute steal. When you compare it to the previous models when they were first initially released, what's out there in the market now with an LRF and ballistic calculator. There is other products, like I say, but in my mind, the eye display on this puts the price tag right up. The big, large, fast F lens puts the price tag up. The LRF does, and the ballistic calculator, like I say, new style, new turret system, dual battery charger, single rechargeable included with it, padded case. It's the price point it's at. It's really, really aggressively priced, and it will do everything day or night. Even if you're going out shooting squirrels during the day, it's going to do everything, or long range raw foxes. So yeah, I'm happy with that. If there was any glaring issues, I would share them, but nah, I don't think we've had it as good as this, like currently in the market, for what you're going to get for your money. It's really good, and all these little inline changes have all helped. Like I say, it seems small, but a spring-loaded cap, a slicker focus ring, a better positioning quarter wheel, raised buttons, etc. 18650 instead of a CR123. All these things do improve things. So that is the HikMicro Alpex 4K. I will be keeping updating footage online of different things like hunting footage, and there will be some comparison videos also, low light mode, and possibly some daylight footage as well, comparisons coming soon. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. And also, for anyone interested in this scope, please visit our website, Blackwood Outdoors. Take a look. If you need any questions answered, just drop a message online, email, via the contact form, WhatsApp, etc. and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can with any information you may need. Like I say, these are the ETA time on these is end of January, early February. I think there'll be huge demand because of basically the performance and the price point of this unit. So yeah, any questions, fire away, drop me a message somewhere, online, forum, like I say, and I'll get back to you as and when I can.